Morning, everybody. Wow, I had the alert up an hour ago, and there's already conversations going on in here. That's cool. How's everybody doing today? Let's see here. Got so much to read here. It's 43 in Minnesota. Heat wave. Yeah, we're supposed to get into the 70s today and maybe 80 tomorrow. Morning, Bob. Morning, Linda. Hi, Rhonda and the girls. How you doing? Nana says hi. So does Bite. Morning, the top bloggers. How are you? 50 in Iowa, huh? Good morning, Scott. I'm doing well. How are you? Yeah, Bite is beside me. My co-host here. Oh, there comes Nibble too. I realized I forgot when I set up the whole thing. I left the kitty treats over on. I guess they're just over here behind me on the table. Let's get that all over here because I'm suspecting we're going to probably need that at some point, right? Can't have a live stream without kitty treats. Watching today, sitting in bed. That actually sounds pretty good. I got to do a bed live stream. What do you think? Yeah, thank you, Linda. I'm looking forward to that too, seeing what we end up with. Probably won't do any planning at this point or any planting at this point because I want to get it more into the spring before we put anything in there. But since it's been, those 2 days that I've done the videos, you haven't seen one of them yet. Um, that'll come up on Tuesday. But the 2 days that I did it were actually really nice days to be out. And this week is supposed to be, at least today and maybe part of tomorrow, are supposed to be good days too. So we'll hopefully get some stuff done and get the dirt in there and get everything ready so that um, when the time comes when it's a little bit warmer out and we're ready to put something in there, we can put it in there and not have to deal with the fact that some winter frost is going to come through and kill it all. Yeah, I can't have a live. Yeah, because we got to torture Rhonda's cats. This one's for you, Rhonda, and for all the rest of you who have pets who respond to that noise. You're welcome. Jen's tomatoes are coming up. Really? Yeah. Sorry, Charlotte. I don't have any jammies. Always interested in my choices of plants. Well, it isn't really, anything based on, hey, I think this is going to have a best chance of survival. It's, things that look interesting, things that are going to maybe have some interesting color or a little personality. Honestly, I never know what's going to work in the yard until I put it in and see whether it works. That was sort of the approach I took with my yard in California too. Is the same thing. You put it in. If it does well, it does well. If it dies, then you put something else in. It's all kind of just trial and error. Winnipeg always seems to have a lot of snow. My mom's doing good. Everything seems to be going all right. She's seems to be doing okay in her apartment, getting to see the kids or her daughter and my sister and her grandkids periodically. So yeah, she seems to be happy. Let's see, what was the email blast or text blast she sent me last night here? She always does that. They're hoping to get a little rain this week. My mom loves the rain like I do, and unfortunately, she doesn't get a lot of it where she lives. So they love it when they can. She's been watching the Olympic Games, but is kind of getting bored with them. She wants to know if I've gotten a trailer hitch on the car yet. Have not yet. She was supposed to have cousins come from Seattle, but I guess that got canceled. Something else going on. I don't know. Let's see. And she said hi to Charlotte and Logan. She really digs being Charlotte and Logan's Nana. So, you know, every message now that she sends me says, "Say hi to Charlotte and Logan." So, hi Charlotte and Logan from Nana. She loves you. Charlotte has her SpongeBob jammies on today, and she's a little cranky. Jan cuts her cherry tomatoes in half and plants them in jugs and about an inch and a half long. They have about, she has them in the kitchen window. That's probably a good way to start tomatoes. Get a little bit of sun there. I really can't do that very much because the only real window that gets any sun is the cat's window. And if I put any kind of plants in a cat's window, the cats are going to eat it. So, do you dare mention the cabinets? They called me on Friday at 5 p.m. to let me know, yeah, they'll be here on the 8th of March. So we're back to the middle of March. So I'm done with them. That's it. I'm calling in and I'm going to cancel that order because, I was that was, remember, these things were supposed to be due on December 10th. So a week before December 10th, I called and said, "Hey, what's the latest?" They said, "Oh, they're going to be here on March 10th. We've changed the date. It's going to be March 10th." I just about canceled then, and they panicked and said, "Okay, we'll put a rush on it. They'll be here next week." And they've been 1 weeking me along ever since, and now we're back to that March 10th. So I was going to draw. I was going to dump the job then. I'm definitely going to dump the job now. That's it. We're done. What does my shirt say? My Indian name is Runs with Beer. I thought that was an appropriate one. You have no room left for indoor plants. You have a ton. All right. Yeah, see, the only real indoor plant I have is that little thing I brought from California. It's because these guys will eat them if I do. And you know what happens after a cat eats a plant? Cat barfs up plant. And then you have green barf all over the house. That's no fun. Morning, Tracy. Yeah, the trolls were quite an issue last week. Well, I'm going to say the troll because it's one person. It's one person that spends hours and hours of their life setting up multiple YouTube accounts, and when he gets blocked on one, he just switches to another. Rhonda buys candles from Charmed Aroma and they come in fancy jars. She reuses the jars for platters. That's a good idea. Jan gives them the morning sun in the one part of the house, and then moves into the front of the house in the afternoon. Yeah, see, my house is kind of facing kind of northeast, so what would go. That's kind of weird about Waco because Waco we've got the river coming through, and the river doesn't go north, south, east, west. It kind of goes from the northwest to the southeast, so it's at an angle, and so all the streets are made parallel to the river. And so right now my house, kind of like I said, faces northeast. North is like basically that direction, and east is there. So the sun kind of comes up over here and it goes down over there. And so the only window, like I said, that gets any sunlight at all is the cat's room window, and that gets nice sunlight up until about noon in the morning. Just had one cat barf under the table. Yeah, that's like the worst place to have it happen. Talking about the trolls here. It was funny. One of the trolls about a year ago, I think I was doing a live stream, and I said something to the effect of, "I guess I should be, proud that I've gotten to the point where I'm big enough of a channel that I can attract trolls." And the troll came back and said, "Oh, you're not that big." It's like, well, you're here, aren't you? Haven't done anything with the windshield. Last week was all about the yard. In fact, I got to finish that off today. I got to do a little bit more. I was out working on it a little bit right before I started the live stream. Yeah, California has really gone downhill. It's been going downhill for a long time, but it's really accelerated in like the last 10 years or so. I mean, you don't even want to go. You don't even want to go to Hollywood anymore. You can't see the Hollywood Walk of Fame anymore because half of it's covered with tents. Did I tell Jordan? Yeah, we had a long talk about that right after the live stream. What happened with the cabinets? They called me on Friday afternoon, 2 days ago, at 5 p.m. Left a voicemail because they knew that I'd probably get angry if I talked to them directly, so they left a voicemail for me and basically said, "Oh, the cabinets will be here on March 8th." So we're back to that again. So I'm done. It's over. I'm going to cancel it. I couldn't. I wish I could have called them back on Friday. I wish I would have been there to answer the phone because that would have been the end of it right there. But California has always been really expensive, but now there's nothing there that would make you want to go there anymore. The homeless are everywhere. Crime is rampant. It's like a third world country. You're from the San Francisco Bay Area? Yeah, my sister lives in Sacramento, and I've visited her a number of times. And one of the more recent times we were there, we were talking about maybe taking a trip into San Francisco, and I wasn't really into it, but I was going to go just because everybody else was going to go. And at one point, everyone just kind of soured on the idea. And they came to me, "Do you really want to go to San Francisco?" I said, "No, not really." So we ended up going to Sacramento instead. That was more fun. The girls want me to know they nicknamed their puppy Scruggles Dump Truck. Where do you guys come up with those names? Yeah, even the weather doesn't really get my attention that much in California. It's boring. I like it when the weather is a little does something a little unexpected. And yeah, I don't. It has a lot of fires. You're right. I don't like earthquakes. I've been through enough of those now. I don't want to be any more earthquakes. Will there be a fine for my canceled cabinets? I hope not. There better not be. They haven't delivered. They're 3 months. They're 2 months late now. If it comes on the 10th, it'll be 3 months late. There better not be a fine. I'll take them to court if they do. Scrubbles dump truck. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of earthquakes. I know too much about earthquakes to enjoy being in them. I much prefer to watch them from a distance. Yeah, you're right. It's crazy how that's all gone. I mean, last time I was talking to the person at the store, I was saying, how is it that you're still doing business with these guys? You don't become this incompetent just overnight. This takes practice to become this incompetent. And if they've been this incompetent over and over and over again, then it calls into question why you're still doing business with them. You know, I recall back in the days when I used to be a purchaser for a company, and if somebody lied to me, that was it. We didn't do business with them anymore. Logan says, "Where's my cat?" in her crankiest voice. Hey, Bite. Logan's getting cranky. She wants to see you. Come on up here. Logan wants to see you. Come on. Meow. Meow. Come on up. I have a feeling he'll be up here in a minute. Yep, there he is. Is Logan being cranky? Don't be cranky, Logan. And there's both the kitties. No, you're just going to sit there and stare at me? I'm sure he'll eat it. Gullible. Too slow, Nibble. Oh well. Chased them both off. Yeah, California is way overdue for a big earthquake. Oh, Rhonda told Logan she better act better or she's not going to get to watch Uncle Brack. Uh-oh. White eats everything. Did you ever doubt that looking at the size of that cat that he eats everything? Literally everything? News networks have been saying the mask mandates are ending even in places like New York. Yeah, well, we're coming up on an election year. Once they get reelected, then the mask mandates will come back. Nibble is a ginger. Is she moody? No, not really. She's just really timid. She's not a she's not a very affectionate cat. But that's okay. Bite makes up for that. Bite is a Bite is a snuggle bug. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to live in California anymore. Yeah, Bite and Nibble have been good kitties. Yeah, Nibble's such a sweetheart, but she's just really, really timid. Really, she's a scaredy cat. I mean, what better way is there to put it? Hey, Black Dot, how are you doing? What's for dinner tonight? I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. I'll probably pull something out of the freezer, put it on the barbecue. That's a lot of times. That's what I'll do is I'll have barbecue for dinner. Kind of running out of the meat that I bought at Costco a year and a half ago, though. So got really quiet in here. You're doing chili in the Instant Pot tonight. That sounds good. Is everyone getting lower quality? I'm broadcasting high def. So sometimes if there's like a shaky internet connection, sometimes it downsamples it. That might be what's happening. If it continues and it's annoying, maybe stop the live stream, restart it, see if it does better. Maybe you'll get a better connection. Anyone else seeing that? I'm not getting any errors on my side. That all sounds good, Jan. Ribs, potato salad, baked beans, and strawberry delight. Uh-oh, looks like Rhonda's been giving the girls a little talking to. Gotta be good, girls. Oh, Yvonne's checking out. She's got to go paper her kitchen. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I've never been a fan of wallpaper, so there was wallpaper a little bit in the house and I lived in California, but the one I grew up in, not my own house. I never put wallpaper on the wall in in my house, and not here either. It's just not my thing. Good morning, Michael, or good afternoon. I got to keep in mind here. It's still technically morning here, but depending on where you are, it might be afternoon. Yeah, you're right, Rhonda. It could be that everyone's online right now too. But like I said, good advice on that is if you're having problems and it's annoying, stop the connection and restart it and see if that helps. Yeah, I am. I am happy with the car. Not including the chipped windshield that happened the next day, but that isn't um, that isn't the far part of the car dealer. That's just one of those things that happened. That could have easily happened the day before, the day after, a month from now, a year from now, or never. So yeah, I think I'm happy with it. Like I said at the time, if I was going to get stuck buying a used car, I wanted a used car that I knew. Here we go again. I don't even need to read your comment when your when your username is like that. Do I have any glass coverage on my car insurance? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Hey, Elvis is in the house. When am I going to do the bathroom? It might be a while for that. Um, at this point, we're going to start getting to the point, hopefully, where it's a little warmer out. Uh, so it's nice to be outside, but at some point, it'll get to the point where it's so hot out that, I'll start working on stuff inside again. So it'll probably be a while. I'm not as bothered by the color in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back. He's logging on to another account now. I'm thinking about they do that kind of repair stuff. I'm not sure this was a pretty serious impact. It must have been a decent sized rock or something that hit the car because a lot of times when you get a little chip in the windshield, you can like rub your finger over it, you don't even feel it. This one penetrated several of the layers, and you can actually feel the damage on the outside. You can't feel it on the inside, but on the outside, it's definitely there. My handyman for a living? No, no. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do this for a living. I do it because I enjoy doing it. And if it got to the point where I was having to depend on doing it every day, I wouldn't enjoy it as much. Well, it's a surefire way to make sure I'm not even going to read the comment because I made the decision to block the user just based on the name. I did actually read the comment. The comment wasn't any more insightful. But what do you expect? This is a loser. What do you expect from him? Yeah, I know. That's probably the way I should deal with it, Suzanne. But I'm not like Jordan. Jordan just says you're gone. I'm not even going to acknowledge you. I'm going to sit there and insult you when you do that. And YouTube has blocked another one. Yeah, some guy can imply that I touch toddlers, and YouTube doesn't block that, but Tracy's comment gets blocked. Whatever. And they even blocked Elvis. See, that's one of the things this guy does. Is he'll come in here and say something, with it going on a new account and start saying something very, very normal, and then all of a sudden, then comes the idiotic comment. It's the same guy. He's got nothing better to do in his life, and he proves it. If he had anything worthwhile to do, he'd go out and do it now rather than staying here and logging into the one account after another. Yeah, I read that this morning. The Queen of England has the coronavirus. They're saying it's a very mild case, which is good because she's kind of, at her age, she's got to be careful about things like that. Because I think they said that she's 95 years old, which is, that's generally the kind of people that get hit with that thing. He needs to find a hobby. If he spent half the time that he does creating YouTube accounts and making a pest of himself online, if he spent half that time, making his own vlog, he'd be in much better shape. Yeah, I know. She's triple vaccinated, right? Rhonda is excited about a Queen Barbie. Is it going to be a Barbie that looks like the Queen, or is it a Barbie that is a Queen? Yeah, we still got to wear masks at work. I'm hoping that they come to their senses there too. Okay, so it's a Barbie that looks like Queen Elizabeth, huh? That's interesting. I don't know. We're back to the drawing boards on the cabinets. I'm gonna consider my options here. That might be something we do this week. Well, I figured that's what you meant, Jan. Yeah, I'm over the mask too. My problem with the mask isn't that. My main issue is that I'm always having chapped lips as a result. Well, it isn't just a matter of the install. You got to get the cabinets made, and that's what the issue is. Now there is a wholesale cabinet company here that I actually visited when I was originally starting this up, but they don't install. They're just a wholesaler. So yeah, Dr. Susan. Yeah, that's just. Uh, I can do a lot of things, but I know what my limits are. And one of those things is hanging cabinets. And it's going to be a lot more complicated this time because we're tearing out those bulkheads. So they got to do that. And then they got to clean that all up. And, I know what my limits are. And I'm not going to attempt that. That's too much. Yeah, I'm not really into the cabinets. They look old and dated, and like I said, they're too low. The kitchen was obviously designed for somebody who's a little shorter than I am, and there's so much wasted space up top. And so I really want to get somebody that can blow out those bulkheads above the cabinets and move everything up. It'll give me more storage, and it'll also open up the kitchen more because when you have really, really low cabinets, it kind of makes the kitchen feel a little claustrophobic. If I raise the cabinets up, another 12 inches, it's going to make the kitchen look so much larger. I used to work at Disneyland. That's what the escaping the mouse thing is all about. But I'm not disclosing where I'm working right now, mainly because I don't want trolls like the one that's been coming in here today and last week. I don't want them knowing. If they're doing that here, can you imagine them calling into my boss? Hi, Jeff. How are you? Yeah, made for someone like you. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm 6'4" though, so when the cabinets are like at this level, for me that's just too low. I'd rather have that extra foot and have the kitchen look bigger. No, they aren't. No, the bulkheads aren't air conditioning. Is that a real cat? Yeah, as real as it can get. What was the best job I had at Disney? Well, I only did one thing at the time, and I loved doing it. I was a float driver in the parades over at California Adventure. If you've ever been there in the past, well, from about 3 years ago and prior to the prior 12 years, and wherever in California Adventure, I was probably involved in any parade you may have seen. I did a bunch of things in there. Mainly, I did a parade called the Pixar Parade, Pixar Play Parade, but I did a show called Phineas and Ferb. I did Pixar Pals. I did things called Glow Fest and grad night type things. Um, I did High School Musical when that was running for a while. Did Electrical Parade over there. Disneyland side, I did Phantasmic Christmas Parade, Soundstation. So I was a float driver. It was a lot of fun. Great people over there. A lot of good times to be had. But I just couldn't stand the management. I could have seen myself becoming a lifer over there at Disney, but it just wasn't to be. Yeah, yeah, bites the ham here. All right, YouTube actually caught one. He's actually really, really focused on the brush right now. That's his favorite thing. We got a request for a belly rub here. How about a belly rub? How's the cover on the pool? It's doing all right this year. I still got to figure out next year to how to get the middle to stay inflated. Those pool balloon things that I put in there, they deflate after a while. And so somebody suggested an inner tube, and that's actually a really good idea. So I might look into that next year. It would also be really easy to attach an inner tube to the center of the pool because you can just wrap rope around it and tie it to the sides. They'll stay right in the middle. Yeah, well, losers going to be losers. I was looking at some of the settings on YouTube this morning, and one of the things I can do is I can block chats to just the people who are subscribers, and that would at least force these clowns to, well, this clown because it's one guy. It forced him to subscribe to the channel, in order to get in there. If it looks too weird, I'm just going to post it. I'm just going to block it. Did I get a lot of use out of the pool last season? Yes, I did. Yeah, I enjoy the pool. It's especially night, really nice at night. When I come home from work or something like that, especially on my last night for a weekend. Come home, get out in the pool, bring a couple beers out there, and just kind of relax. Well, the concern I have about blocking non-subscribers, and I'm assuming that everyone here already subscribes to the channel, but the problem with blocking non-subscribers is if there are any regular viewers who just aren't subscribers, then they wouldn't be able to participate in this. And I don't know. I mean, how many of you are subscribers? Are you all subscribers? Anybody here that isn't a subscriber? That's a regular, someone, because, I'm looking at the names on the screen here, and with the exception of the one or two that I've blocked that are on the screen right now, I know all of you. Yeah, Elvis is a subscriber. Janine is. Anyone here not? The girls say they want their own email so they can subscribe to. That's awesome. See, that's the only issue I'd have with doing that is that I wouldn't want to block any of the real viewers who aren't who participate and come in all the time and comment and stuff like that, but don't necessarily don't have a haven't subscribed yet. I hadn't really thought about that. That is actually a good idea, Kathleen. The only issue with that is I know that the only issue with that is I know that anything that's made like that is going to be expensive, expensive. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. And see, there's an example. Kathleen doesn't subscribe, so that's an issue. And I wouldn't want Kathleen to lose the ability to comment because you know also an issue here too, John. I agree. Yeah, Jeff's headed off to eat. That always seems to happen about this time. Thanks for stopping in, Jeff. Good talking to you. Sally bet that she was one of the first subs. Very possible. I know who the first one was. Jordan was the first one. Uh-oh, I got to do my uncle duties here. All right, Logan and Charlotte, no more jumping on mommy and daddy's bed. It's hard for mommy and daddy to watch when the bed is bouncing around like that. So just sit down and watch. They're so full of, yeah. Well, and unfortunately, kids like that, they tend to build off of each other's energy. So one of them gets hyper, and the other one's gets hyper too. I would probably dump Facebook too, if not for the fact that there's the Escaping the Mouse Facebook page, and I also have a Guided by Voices Facebook page that I run. And I wouldn't want to you know dump those. Otherwise, I'd be off Facebook in a second. It's just You know, if you're getting here's something to remember about that. If you're getting something for free and you're not having to pay for it, then you're the product. They're selling, they're collecting data on you and selling to whoever will buy it. That's what Facebook is. That's how Facebook makes its money. Thank you, Brian. I'm glad you like the videos. I really kind of enjoy making them. Girls get super excited for Sunday after church because of Uncle Breck. Thank you, girls. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, I think I made the right choice too. You don't understand how we go from no trolls to trolls in every live stream. I'll tell you, it's one person, and one person has decided that he's going to be an idiot, and so he's just going to keep popping in here, and we're going to keep blocking him. Jordan say that he's glad he got a motorcycle. I think he enjoys it. Yeah, I do that too. Can you give me a hand? Yeah, sure. Hi, VNA. How are you? It could be a she troll. No, I don't think so. Uh, Jordan and I think we know who it is, and that's all I'm going to say on that matter. All right, you talked me into it, Jan. I'm going to double your pay. No, screw that. Triple your pay. It's worth every penny of it. I haven't really posted anything on my general profile and Facebook in more than a year. The only thing I post on is, like I said, I got the Guided by Voices site, and I got the Escaping the Mouse site. Yeah, I've been kind of slowly moving my stuff over to Rumble too. I have a Rumble page, and I don't know. I think about the first 20 or so of my videos are up there. I got to get more of them to do. It'd be really nice if I could just say, hey, transfer everything off of YouTube and do it that way. But Do the cats sleep? Oh yeah, all the time. I think that's their default state. Rumble better. Honestly, I haven't really been watching it that close to see. I'm not getting the views over there that I do over here, but it's a new format, and I think a lot of people don't know I'm even over there. Rumble is an alternative to YouTube. It's another. Like I said, it's an alternative to YouTube without all the censorship. I think it's kind of still kind of a growing. It's kind of a growing format. Does my job like my videos? My job doesn't know about my videos. I keep those two worlds separate. You like the Bucky's, yeah, yeah. I always love going to Bucky's. Bucky's is a lot of fun, and the videos are just they're really easy to do because all you got to do is just look at something that makes you laugh and then make some wise crack about it. Never heard of Rumble? Yeah, Rumble's the new YouTube. Yeah, I know. Bucky's seems to be in the southern parts of the United States. Doesn't seem to have moved very far out of the southeast of the country. Haven't been to Bucky's. Yeah, you need to check one out if you get a chance. What's my page? Just go search "Escaping the Mouse." You'll know it because it's the same logo that I have everywhere else. Bucky's definitely sounds like one of those things that could go nationwide or even worldwide, though. Because it's just one of those things that you put it on a major highway, you have a lot of gas, and people that are going on vacation. It's a perfect place to stop and let the kids burn steam. Have a little fun, get a little something to eat, get some gas. They even got places for the dogs to go, literally. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a well thought out business plan. I think I put those chimes in exactly the right place in the yard because the truth is the wind comes in generally from a particular direction, and the tree is directly between the chimes and the wind, so they ring a little bit, but um, it isn't really annoying. Is Jordan on Rumble? No, no, I don't think Jordan's on Rumble. No, I've never been on Instagram. You think Bucky seems like a quirky store that might only work in Texas? I don't know. I think it could go anywhere. Because I don't see anything specifically that makes me think it's got to be in the South, except the fact it's in the South. Yeah, well, I was looking at those ones. They had the ones that had the wood on them at Bucky's, and I was looking at those initially. And the reason I settled on these is because they're all metal and stainless steel. Winnipeg has Jollibees. Jordan loves Jollibees. Never heard of anyone being allergic to coffee, but I guess it happens. I'm not allergic to coffee. I am not a fan. Yep, another one. Another one bites the dust. Oh man, we've introduced the kids to vodka. That's no good. This is supposed to be a family channel after all. It's really water, okay? It's just water. Yeah, there are a number of Buc-ee's in Texas. That seems to be primarily where they are, but I think they're also like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida. It's grown up water. That's probably a good way to do it. Yeah, you're right. If Breck starts slurring his words, you'll know it's vodka. If Breck falls asleep in the middle of the live stream, you'll absolutely know it was vodka. No, I'm not watching the Daytona 500. I'm going to go work in the yard today. Racing is a big thing at the Steer House, huh? Okay. Yeah, it isn't Troll's DNA, it's Troll. There's one person. Do I bike ride? I do have a bike. I actually really haven't been out on it a lot lately. I guess, vlogging kind of takes up a lot of time. It is. It's the same Troll. It's one person. I just keep hoping at one of these points that he realizes, and it's a he realizes that it takes him a lot longer to create a YouTube account than it does for me to delete one. And YouTube blocked Dana this time here. Yep, yeah, he needs to get a life. Girls want to know what my favorite snack food is. Honestly, um, I love cheese. I buy blocks of sharp cheddar cheese and snack on that. But I also buy almonds by the. I also like to snack on almonds. So I always have a big bottle of almonds with me. Well, I mean, I guess I'm glad that YouTube is trying to crack down a little bit. I wish they'd get the trolls. I wish they could just look at the IP address and give me an option to block the IP address, and then however many times this guy creates different accounts, just block it automatically because it's from the IP address. But they can't do that. Yeah, I know they're in a very similar jar too. So yeah, I've accidentally put kitty treats in my mouth because I've forgotten and grabbed the wrong jar. Yeah, I don't know why they do that either. I was looking at that this morning because I actually went into YouTube and says, "Can I block a particular IP address on YouTube?" And nope. Yeah, unfortunately, they can create as many accounts as they want, and just continue to be a pest. Like I said, if I could just block their IP address, that would be so much easier. But you can't do that, so put that in the suggestion box, maybe. The girls have eaten kitty treats more than once. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I try and keep them separate. We definitely don't, do this kind of thing here. You know, kitty treats stay on the couch, the almonds stay on the table over there. But yeah, I mean, you realize what you did the second you put a kitty treat in your mouth, don't you, bite? Come on over here. Now we'll flip the camera here a little bit so they can see you come up. Guess there was any question why he's so fat. You missed that one. He's not fat, he's big boned. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that. I need to get a haircut. Logan is right. Maybe we'll do that this week too. Getting a little fuzzy on the top here. I can't just fake it by cropping it with the camera here. Oh, you can't see my hair now. It must be okay. Actually, just makes me look like I'm bald, right? It's an 80-year-old Breck with male pattern baldness over the top. Yeah, well, tell mommy to come down to Waco. That's only what, 2,000 miles away, right? I was just really thinking the joke's really on the trolls for coming in here, the troll for coming in here over and over and over again, because every time he logs onto a new account and pops in here, he has to watch an ad, which means I'm getting paid from him trolling. So that's kind of funny. What does my shirt say? It says, "My Indian name is runs with beer." Hey, buddy. And maybe that's why I like tormenting my trolls so much. Rather than just ignoring them, it's like, provoke them to come back. Then they'll watch another ad and I'll get some more money. I'm literally getting paid to block you. Pop in and out over and over again. Pay. Yeah, well, that's how it works. Well, the shirt is kind of a little hard to read. It is a little faded. Jordan made you a moderator? That's cool. Yeah, it isn't enough of an issue. I've got the mouse right here, and so it only takes a second to block somebody. In fact, I wish YouTube responded to it quicker because because sometimes when you block somebody, it takes a second for the message to disappear. Yeah, I figured as much, Rhonda. You're acting as the moderator on that end. Your cats are passed out, huh? I know to wake them up. Here, put the lid on here, though, or I'll shake kitty treats all over the place. Yeah, Charlotte and Logan are our friends here, so you cats were asleep, huh? Okay, well, you're welcome. Hey, Bite, what are you doing, huh? The troll is a real creeper. Well, I think you missed the loser. You gonna come up and say hi? Oh, that's awesome. I always love it when my youngest fans are spreading the word. Thank you, Charlotte and Logan. I appreciate you supporting the channel. I like it. I love that you watch. And I still have the pictures that you drew for me on my refrigerator. Your priest knows about us, huh? Uh-oh. Do they know we drink vodka on the channel? It really is water, girls. Thank you, Laura Lee. I appreciate that. Girls tell them about our special online family. That's great. I have been thinking about doing another T-shirt. I want to kind of work out some of the details. I'm not really sure, um, what the image will be. It took a while to kind of come up with that last idea, and we'll come up with something. I've been thinking about something. I got to work out the logistics, but who knows? One of the things that kind of made it happen last time was that the T-shirt company was having a special deal where if you bought 10 or more T-shirts, you get them for like, what was it, $12 or $13 a piece, which was kind of nice. Normally they're a lot more expensive, or else I'd do it all the time. Yeah, bites over on this side now. I am silly, Charlotte. I am very silly. Do one with a handyman theme, huh? Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I just got to let it kind of percolate in there a little bit, and figure out what I would do with it. But I do have a thought. And it got blocked again, but it was a good one. T-shirt idea for the troll. My Indian name is Idiot with Nothing Else to Do. That's actually a good one. You actually ran into several people who know me from the girls wearing their shirts. That's great. See, I don't wear my shirt that much because I don't know. I'm a little self conscious about walking around with a T-shirt with my own picture on it. It just isn't me. Another trip to Home Depot with Brack. Yeah, that makes it sound like a bad thing, though. I love going to Home Depot. Gonna have to make new T-shirts because they're. I really seriously considered that would be an issue too, because when I saw those T-shirts, I couldn't believe how little they were. They were so tiny. They put a big red line through the Lowe's logo. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be difficult to do anything that had a logo on it. I think there'd be copyright issues. But whatever. Hey, you. I'm glad those shirts are getting some wear though. What, Facebook won't let you post the Rumble videos? I gotta admit, I've never tried, but I have seen other Rumble videos on Facebook, so I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll create a link on the page at some point and say, hey, check me out on Rumble if you want. Her oldest daughter is tiny as well. When she went to the first day of school, she wore size 24 months when she was 5 years old. Wow. You make them small here, not like Texas. Yeah, that's true. They'd be bigger if they were in Texas because everything's bigger in Texas. Did I ever experience an earthquake in California? Yeah, I experienced several of them. I don't like it, and it's one of the reasons I left the state. I was there for the Northridge quake in '94. I was there for Silmar, and I think what was that, '86 or '87, or not Silmar. Silmar was in the '70s. What was the one in? What was it called? Oh man, got to look at the map here. Hang on a second. Whittier Narrows. Didn't even have to see it here. Yeah, but it was called Whittier Narrows. That was the earthquake in the '70s, or in the mid '80s. I don't know because it was a place I used to drive by all the time. It's like, oh, that's where Whittier Narrows is. Bite is making a silent protest. Yeah, it could be. Bye, Jen. Thanks for stopping in. When I was a kid, did I ever think I would flee California? No, I never thought that would happen. It's only really something that kind of came back in the last couple years that I decided I wanted to do that. Does the house shake? Yes. Yeah, I don't like earthquakes. And my house in California was like 2 or 3 miles from a moderately sized fault. It was called uh, the Elsinore fault. What was it? Elsinore. Sorry, I gotta refresh my memory here. We keep thinking Newport Inglewood, but that's south of where I was. Is it just called the Elsinore fault? Maybe it's just called the Elsinore fault. And that one shook occasionally. I felt earthquakes on that. Yeah, that's his typical pose for the live stream. Usually he's over on this leg, or this arm of the couch, but today he decided to mix it up. Yeah, too many fires in California. That was another reason why I'm glad that I left. There were because I mean, where I was in California, there were, I was kind of right on the edge of civilization. So you moved too much. east of me, and you start getting out into the rural areas, and that's where all the wildfires happen. So there were several fires that happened, real close to my house, where, I mean, yeah, it was really, really close. So in fact, I got time lapse footage that I shot from one of the windows of my house a number of years ago of a fire that was just a couple miles away from me, and I mean, it was amazing, the footage. I'll have to post that sometime. DNA had to evacuate one time from her house. It was terrifying. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that was one of the first things that struck me about Texas too, is how nice the people are. They're just, it's such a friendly group. I mean, I've got better friends here in Texas, at work and stuff like that, than than people from California. They're just, it's people are just so much nicer here. When you were a kid, the house you lived in caught on fire. That's no good. Was it your fault? You can tell us. We won't tell anyone. Hey, bye. Yeah, that's true, VNA. I got to admit, my experience is just primarily with people in the Waco area. Hey, Dave and Terry, welcome to the group. Oh, it's your foster brother's fault. All right. Threw a blanket over a space heater. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I know. I'm. They're very concerned about that here in Texas. All the Californians moving here and then bringing the same nonsense with them. I went to the barber once, and I told him I was a California resident, a California transfer, and he says, "Oh man, I hope you're not bringing all that with you." And it's like, no, no, not an issue with me. Oh, Rhonda broke the picture window. Okay, well there you go. Any vacations planned this year? At some point, I got to go to California and visit my mom and visit my friends and pick up Flash. Got to go off to the beach here and play to Carmen, Mexico. I guess I could think of worse things to do than go hang out on the beach in Mexico. DNA moved here in '95. Okay, yeah, it's only. Can you believe it's been almost 3 years? It'll be 3 years in May. That's insane. And at the beginning of the month, in what, 2 weeks or so, less than 2 weeks, I'm at my 2 year anniversary at work. That's even more insane. Can you believe I've been there for 2 years? Been in this place for a year and a half. What's the picture next to the bite? You mean the one above him? I'm looking at the thing. You moved the year after Northridge happened. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Northridge was in '94, wasn't it? Okay, you're talking about this thing up here. It's it's a photograph of from the Hubble Space Telescope of a nebula that's forming stars. They call it the pillars of creation. I'll tell you what, we'll go mobile here. I'll give you a close-up look. That's the beauty here of having a laptop is you can pick it up and walk around with it here. Nobody's got to deal with the glare here. It's between the glare on the windows and the glare of my little lights there. But yeah, you look at like these little things that are coming off here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's a star forming right there, and you can see these little spikes on the top of it. Those are stars forming in a gas nebula. So kind of fun stuff. And we lost Bite again. He's got a little scaredy and ran off here. That's the way it goes. Plug that in. Plug that in. All right, we are back here. I know, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. 2 years. I heard anything about the Canadian passport protest. Yeah, that's all over the news. It's really funny to listen to the media these days compare these truckers to terrorists when they, excused a whole summer or two of Antifa burning cities to the ground. But, you know, that's why nobody watches them anymore. Oh, I got nothing but respect for the truckers. Same people condemning them now are the people who were calling them heroes a year ago when they were keeping our store shelves, filled. Yeah, I know. It was a real big relief when I got that job. Because my mom has often said to me that both she and my dad were very, very concerned about what I was, what my plans were. In theory, the plan sounded good because I had a chunk of cash from the house that I could live on for a while, but ultimately it depended on me, getting a job that I could, support myself on, and that took a while. I was here for almost a year before I got a job because I came here in the middle of May in 2019, and it was March of 2020 that I got the job. So that was 10 months that I was unemployed. But yeah, the apartment did have a fire. It was a storage shed out in the back, and I think what they ultimately determined is that one of the kids in the neighborhood is kind of a closet pyromaniac, and he'd set a couple fires in the property area, and they think he set that one too. Yeah, I haven't watched CNN in a long time. In fact, I don't really watch any cable news at this point. I don't even have TV anymore. But CNN really seems to be melting down right now. A couple of their producers have been caught as sexual predators. Don Lemon has a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. Cuomo, the Jeff Zucker had to step down. That place is in bad shape right now. Now you watch live streams on YouTube. That's better. I appreciate that immensely. What am I doing in the yard today? I can do a little bit more on that planter that I'm building that I showed you in the last video that went live last night. There's another one on Tuesday, and I think I'll probably be able to finish that up on the one on Thursday because I've got basically the planter is built. Now I just got to fill it with soil and do some work on the sprinkler heads. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Bill. I don't really watch any of that at this point. You know, can you make suggestions for what to plant in the new planter? Yeah, I mean, I'll take suggestions. You got to remember that it's close to the house. It's going to be mostly shade, but it's got to be able to deal with the extreme heat and the extreme cold in the yard. So those would be kind of the requirements because it's really hot here in the summer. It's really cold in the winter. Yeah, I have thought about a deck by the pool. That may happen at some point. Breeding African violets and knitting instead of TV. Hey, that sounds a lot better than TV at this point. Like I said, I cut the cable about 6 or 8 months ago. Just returned the box. I said, you know what? I've had the TV on twice since I moved here, and one of those was the time making sure the cable worked because I just hooked everything up. So why am I paying $80 a month for something I'm not even using? Yeah, you saw the one. Yeah, you mentioned something about an outdoor live stream. I think in one of the comments. Because I remember seeing that in the comments on one of the videos I was reading this morning. It'll probably happen. We're kind of getting to the point now where it's nice. It's getting to the point where it's nice enough outside you can do that. I thought about it this morning, but it was a little bit on the chilly side. But who knows? I'll probably do another outdoor live stream at some point. We're getting into that kind of that season where it's a good time to do it. Yeah, I don't know how well a cactus garden would do in the real cold here, though. I love cactuses. I had some really cool cactuses, but neither of them survived the trip to Texas. So Viena is not doing any improvements on her home until the prices slower down. Yeah, well, that's going to be a while. Yeah, I think for a while there, I'd watch like home improvement type shows. I that's how I learned a lot of what I know how to do is just by watching those. You wish I'd teach you how to do the Fire Stick. The Fire Stick is easy. You just plug it into your TV. You program it with your internet connection, and then you have YouTube and Netflix and Amazon Prime and a whole bunch of other stuff right there for you. It's not that hard. Paint went up. All I noticed that when I painted the bedroom. It was like $50 for a gallon of paint. That was insane. You have four species of cactus that live in your area in the ice, snow, and cold. Wonder how they do in the extreme heat that we get here. Yeah, it's a little bit more than plug and play because you got to configure it to your router. But once you do that, it's just it is literally just plug and play because everything's just right there on the menu. Well, was I a regular watcher of This Old House? No, that was a little before I got into it. I would watch things like Fixer Upper, Homes on Homes, those kinds of shows. So that was how I knew who Chip and Joanna Gaines were. But there were a number of shows that were kind of like that around that time that I used to like to watch. Okay, you get pretty warm there. Yeah, well, that's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Even 40 degrees Celsius, that sounds warm. One of the things I know about cactuses, though, cactuses are kind of sun lovers, and that would be an issue because this area of the yard is blocked by the house for most of the day, and then it's in the shade. It's only going to be partial sun um, after that, because it's just going to be diffused coming through the trees. Yeah, I've had some blooming cactuses that were beautiful. In fact, I got a lot of time lapse footage of some of these flowers opening because the flowers open in about a 12-hour period, and they're usually there for a day or two, and then they fade, and that's the end of it. Yeah, see, that's what I was looking at too. Cable bill was I don't think it was 147 a month, but it it was more than 100 a month, and half of that was for the cable itself, the other half is for the internet. And I mean, I use the internet, so that's important. So I think that's probably why the cable company didn't complain more bitterly when I cut the cable because they still get to keep me as an internet customer. I'm just done with the TV. No, the palms didn't make it. They died off in that winter storm that we had last year. Yeah, the cactus I had like big yellow flowers, like they were 5 or 6 inches in diameter. They were big. Succulents, low maintenance. You usually kill your plants. Yeah. I like succulents. I've had a bunch of succulents in the yard in California. Don't think I have any of them now. I brought a couple of plumeria with me, and they didn't make it. Friends call you the plant whisperer. That's cool. Yeah, I think I'm paying what $70 or $80 right now a month for internet, and because I'm a vlogger, I get to deduct that from my taxes. So my what my tax guy said, "Oh, you're vlogging? Yeah, you can. Well, you can deduct your internet. Cool, I'll do it." Yeah, I agree with you, Dr. Susan. Color matters. You know, it's I like plants with personality. I like plants with a lot of color. I like very fragrant plants too. Yeah, that plant that I brought with me from California. That's a perfect example of a house plant. That's really, it's almost idiot proof in terms of keeping it alive. You know, that was a plant that probably was one of the oldest things in my yard because it was a plant that my mom got me many years ago when I still lived in the apartment before I bought the house in California. I had an apartment, and somehow I managed to keep it alive there, and then managed to keep it alive when I got the house in California, and kept it alive for a while. And then at one point, I actually planted it in the backyard under my patio cover, and it basically just took over the whole patio cover area. In fact, I had it at one point. It's one of these things that that's just a vine that'll just grow forever if you let it. And at one point, I had it going up to the roof, and I had this like corrugated material on the roof, to partially let light through, and I'd have it winding in and out of there, and I had it all over the place in there, and it continued to do well. And at one point, when I got to the point where I was ready to move, I pulled it all out, but I took one leaf clipping, just put it in a glass of water, and I literally brought it here to Texas in a glass of water and popped it into a pot, what, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and it's doing great. I don't think I'd kill that thing if I wanted to. The jasmine hasn't done anything scent wise yet, but that might be something next year. I think I've noticed that that's doing really well out there. It's vining out all over the place, and so that's doing well. I think the hydrangeas that I put in there, I don't think they made it, but that's what it always is with plants and me. I put something in there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Have the neighbors noticed the wind chimes? If they have, they haven't said anything to me. You have two friends that have killed the same plant I have. Okay, well, so it's possible. All right, there's some scientific names of cactuses. I'll have to go Google to figure out what they are. Rhonda is a clippings grabber, huh? She likes clippings. There you go. It's amazing how many plants that you can do that with. Am I going to plant more chili peppers this year? Yeah, definitely. I like having my own supply of chili peppers, and I used them all. Your poinsettias are still in bloom. That's unusual this late in the season. Thanks, Elvis. It was great talking to you, and thanks for your kind words. I appreciate that. You can't plant in the ground on the yard because of radiation in the ground. Oh no, how'd that happen? You can, but you can't eat it. Okay, yeah, that's probably good advice. Morning glory and climbing beans, which you planted around the trellis of your deck. Huh. I was noticing they had like blueberries and raspberries and cranberries and blackberries for sale. And I was thinking that'd be fun to plant, but those are sun lovers, and so I'd have to plant it in an area where you get a lot of sun. Now I do know there is an area in the yard where I could probably do that. It's over kind of uh, where the tomatoes and jalapenos were planted. Most of the yard is kind of protected by trees, so you gotta choose your locations properly. But it would be fun to have some like raspberries and cranberries and blueberries and stuff like that growing in the yard. How awesome would that be, huh? Plus, the fact Flash would love that. Can you imagine how much Flash would dig having access to fresh raspberries and blueberries? She'd be beside herself. There's a company there that makes enriched uranium fuel rods for power plants. Yeah, that'll do it. Berries would draw the birds too. Yeah, you're right. And I love doing things that bring the birds into the yard. That would just be a fringe benefit. How is Flash? Haven't heard from Flash. Heard about Flash for a while, but it's February, so she's probably been hibernating since about October. Are the trees going to interfere with the viewing of the next eclipse? Not if I have anything to say about it. No, we'll find some place to be where we'll be able to see that. I'm still looking forward to that. I'm hoping the weather cooperates because around this time of year, the weather can be a little unpredictable. Let's just put it that way. But I've said this before. If I'm still vlogging, then I'm going to try and live stream the whole thing. I'm going to pull that solar telescope that I showed you a number of years ago out and use that and live stream the whole thing if I can. Yeah, it'll be nice to be able to see Flash. When's the next eclipse? There's one that's coming through Waco in, I think, 2024. So it's about 2 years away. But Waco is going to be right dead center in the area of totality. And I've never been in a total eclipse before. I've seen several partials, but never a total. Yeah, I know. I'm concerned about that. I'm going to have to probably battle Beth to get flashback. Oh, I did build a nice garden, raised garden bed. That's where I have my had my tomatoes and jalapenos last year. I know. Can you believe it? It's been 2 hours already, and you were here from the beginning. You were talking to everybody before we even started streaming. Well, I hope everyone's still around. Oh, you mean like something elevated above the ground, like on a table or something like that? Yeah. Oh, girls got to go have a snack and then take a nap. Get ready for the race, huh? All right. I know. I didn't even drink all of my water today. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Rhonda. Goodbye, Charlotte. Goodbye, Logan. I know Nana says she loves you. I guess our resident troll is off making up new YouTube handles because I haven't seen him in a while. So there we go. We ended on a positive note. All right. So I think that's all I got for today. I'm going to go out and do a little bit more work in the yard and make another vlog for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good night.